Hello and welcome. Silrace here with Support Sunday. And you can see the two team makeups for today's game, which is kind of interesting teams. I quite like actually. Very balanced. So I am on a Tyrande spree again, once again. I just love her so much. Unfortunately, when I'm playing her solo, it ends up in situations like this where I end up being the team's only support, so I typically have to build way more heal type than I would necessarily like on her, but it doesn't matter to me that much. I like being a support, so yeah, I do like Tyrande anyways, but I'm going to bot lane here and I just, you know, shot that all. Also, this is post-gameplay commentary right now, because, well, I started recording this thing, and then halfway through recording it I realized that my microphone was actually not on. So, yeah. Then I decided, well, I'm gonna use this game anyways, but it will be post-gameplay commentary as I blow up some structures with an owl. Because that's one of the funny details on this particular map, the map being Sky Temple, where you can actually like blow up some of the buildings with the arrows, which is kind of hilarious, like essentially destroy the tops of some statues and all those things. It is kind of funky. So yeah, I'm going a bit more of a healy build, and I am debating here where it's like, should I go top or to help the team or not? Well, their tank is still here, so I'm gonna get the XP out of this. Although I'm gonna be late for the temple fights then. Because Tyrande is not quite so good at clearing lanes. It's like no real way to AoE stuff down until level 10. So yeah. There is that bit of an issue with her. I would like to have gun for the siege tank there, but no real way to go for it. Although if people really go here, then yeah, can go for it. But Jen is gonna die for that attempt. But we push them off this thingamajig and managed to get the Jen as well. And try to get Brightwing too, but I am being smacked around, and I did the body block, but it wasn't quite enough because I ended up dying for it. Get polymorphed in a bad spot basically, and yeah, was taking unnecessary turret damage, a mistake of mine. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. Right, so now there is more dudes on the shrine again. We basically got the top shrine, so the or temple, shrine, temple, whatever. So yeah, and here I just I basically just went in there a little too hard because, well, team was going in, so it's like well, I was thinking of I might support them. Then everybody started running away instantly. So alright, yeah. It's like, I might not want to do that then. I'll rather go on lane. Let these guys fight if they want to. So yeah, my bad a bit on the positioning. I could have been a little less aggressive on the positioning, but oh well. Sometimes you do make mistakes, and then you learn from them and don't repeat them. That's the main thing. Now this 2 versus 1 here, and we are way behind in XP. But hopefully catching up a little bit. So yeah, in the end we got one of the temples, they got most of the other one. And one reason why I quite like Tyrande is her ability to interrupt Jen's drinking habit. So it is like you have a stun, you can stop Jen from drinking, which is really nice. It prevents Jen from, well, replenishing his, well, he happens to need to drink to be able to do stuff, as in to use his abilities. So you can stop that from happening, and also you can stop his shields from stacking up. At least we have a nice little thing here going on at the moment, and I can zone them away from chasing the Jaina with this stun. They didn't run into the Jaina, or they didn't run into the stun, but that's, well, that's essentially better. Managed to stun the hammer, but oh well. Now we have to fight for this temple, and we don't have the entirety of the team here, so this probably is a bad fight, which, yeah. But there you see my most used mechanic for the stun is to try and, well, not mechanic, but the most used way for the stun. Essentially try to stop chases with the stun. So I'm trying to get, like, the reason I went in that far, even though I could have kept shooting at the hammer, is to make sure that I was in range to heal the Chen. But the Chen keeps going in a tad too hard on many of these engages, so... Hey, well, hello Tassadar. Please, please die, Mr. Tassadar, of course. Then there is their support, and I'll burn the... But I don't have the stun to like really save Jaina here. Thankfully they didn't commit to that kill fully, and there is just no way we can contest this temple. We didn't have everyone here, and the enemy team basically dead. Well, they had 4, we had 3. That's just how it goes. And they do have the level advantage, so that's something to keep in mind. 1 level is not such a big deal yet, but when it gets to 2 and why not, and of course now they are about to hit level 10, that means we cannot really team fight until level 10 ourselves. So that's a concept many people seem to, well, still make mistakes on, like engage into an enemy who has, well, heroic abilities when you don't yet, and that typically gets you destroyed in the process and puts the enemy even more ahead. So it's like I am just trying to reinforce this point to the guys. It's like, please don't fight them yet because we need level 10. So I can pop up couple heals if needed, and we can go and do other things. At least the hammer and Chen are getting XP from the lanes, from the 2 other lanes, so there is that, which is quite good. We can catch up a little bit, and these guys are really hard pushing this lane here with their mercenaries. It's kind of the correct course of action to do. If you take a bunch of mercs, then push with them. It helps you do something with the mercs other than just getting killed and all, well, being all useless, so to say. It is interesting to know that the Jaina went for a kind of interesting heroic here in this game. I guess you have to try everything out. I honestly thought the hammer would have, like, used thrusters to go backwards, and that's why I shot the stun behind her and not on top of her, but she didn't, and that's that. I managed to stun the rest of these guys, but the Chen is in middle of us and kind of have to run away. We don't also have the DPS to really deal with it because Jaina already ran, so there is that. I tried to also stop them from chasing into the hammer, like, because I honestly thought he was gonna run into the hammer, but oh well. Well, did not run into the hammer. That's okay. It's like, because it means the hammer is not dead. So now we have 2 temples to go for. So folks are setting up siege on the top, on the mid temple, and our hammer is about to die. And I am a little bit too aggressive here, although I tried to save the Jaina with a heal. And now my shield is out of cooldown as well, so we can try to body block this Chen away from the Jaina and get this stun off, even though the animation was kind of funky, like the Chen just jumped before the animation hit, and also I missed the owl on this guy because, well, no, I timed it horribly badly, as in the World Breaker! It just sounds better than the freaking shock. Anyways, from Mr. Thrall, pushed him to the side just before my stun landed. So, not a good skill use there, like no way to chain the skills. Like had I waited for the or had I noticed it first, I could have tried to aim the stun for where he's going to land after. And this is a very desperate take, but hey, if people really wanna commit to it, I am in here. So we can do that. And then I misclick and walk into the stun. So yeah, well. Was trying to apply my mark, but oh well. But at least we get the boss, completely uncontested even, which is hilarious at this stage of the game. So what the heck. Also, I do realize just now that I have not even talked about Tyrande's abilities, so let's go over them very quickly. So, Tyrande's first ability is a heal. Basically, you target somebody and it heals them. Usually a friendly, you know. Then the second ability is the Owl. Sentinel it is called, and it travels across the entirety of the map. And basically it hits a target and it sticks to that target for a few seconds to reveal them. And there is a talent which makes it travel through targets it hits. Anyways, I haven't picked that talent, even though I quite like it. Because it allows very good vision, and that's what Ranger is for the Sentinel and stuff. Third ability is a stun, which I have used often, and it is one of the best stuns in the game, because it does not emanate out of the hero. Like, it doesn't come out from Tyrande into, like, forward. Most of the stuns in this game work that way. Instead, it flies into the air and falls down, so you cannot put buildings or other heroes or whatever between yourself and Tyrande to dodge the stun. So it is very good stun. Also, I picked one of the two heroics, because every hero has two heroics, and the heroic I picked is the easier to use in most situations, the Starfall, which basically just deals area of effect damage, and here is a good owl, like, poke it down across the entire map, you can see it fly on the minimap, and hit the gen, and reveal that there is only gen on the other, you know, shrine, temple, whatever happened. The second heroic on Tyrande would have been Shadowstalk, which stealths your entire team and reveals everybody on the enemy team for a few seconds. And it is very nice against certain heroes. For example, if there is an Abathur on the enemy team, you can use it to reveal the Abathur, like always. And maybe even get the Abathur kill then. But in general play and in quick matches where don't have a good control of like who picks what and are not quite so coordinated because you're not on voice communication with your team, then Starfall is just my go-to because it's much easier to use for your own benefits than Shadowstalk is. So if nothing else, it can be used to clear a wave very easily and quickly. Because it hits everybody in the area multiple times, and I'm just gonna shoot this guy up here a little bit because Thrall is coming in here as well. And then let's see if we can stun him in place, and there you go. Of course, Tyrande's stun is quite hard to land, and whenever I take a break from Tyrande for a while and then I go back to Tyrande, and like, well, now I don't hit any stuns for a game or two because it does have quite huge delay, so on a moving target or whatever, you do have to be quite careful of how to hit the stun to actually have it land. Be able to predict exactly where the enemy is or for it to be of any real use. On the other hand though, it does have a good range, and here is a good well landed stun. As you could see, it's like she walked right into it. It was like right in middle of the stun area. So yeah. But in the end, like I said, it is a very strong stun. It has pretty good area of effect and what have you. On the other hand though, there is a Starfall which I put in here mostly as a zoning tool to keep them from running back in right away. And then I'm trying to be at the back here because I happen to, and there is a missed stun because I happen to be quite low on HP. Thrall is out of mana, but hey, can smack these things around, right? I can go and try to heal this Jen who is being really aggressive, but then I'm probably gonna die for it. Manage to stun the Jen and then run away. You put down the Sentinel and nope, there is Tazada. So it's just something to something to take note, which is my opinion on this stuff. Like when the opposing team comes for you when you are fighting for one of these temples, it's like please disengage the temple and wipe out the enemies, because then you can go back to the temple, right? Or if you are about to lose the temple anyways, then pull back a little bit, disengage the monsters, the mobs on the temple, and then keep attacking the enemy to try to make it harder for them to, you know, take the temple. If half of your team like goes for the enemies, like charges into them as they are coming in, and somebody stays to try to fight the monsters, the mobs on the temple, you are basically splitting all your strength. You should be doing one or the other, and it is much easier to engage the enemy than it is to, you know, try to do the temple, because while you are trying to do the temple, the enemy team is obviously still attacking you. You are not attacking them. And there is a what Starfall is all about. It's like you see a big team fight going in one location, especially with a stationary target like the Sergeant Hammer there. You put that down and then you start smacking that stuff down. And also it took care of the minion wave and the mercenaries pretty well. And there is another easy like combination of stuns to, well, absolutely destroy the Chen as well. Yeah, well, and I was like, well, we just killed 3 of them. Can we take boss? It's like, because that would be awesome. Come on, people, stop chasing. Come take boss with me. Well, temples then, because don't have time for boss anymore. But at least we might be able to get both temples. Both shrines. It's just easier to call them all a shrine, no matter what map we are on, and so forth. Can I land a stun? Nope. Nope. Can I land a stun? Oh, frick sakes, she walked forward. Oh well. You will. She walked right out of it and not backwards. It's like one of those situations like, I am coming in here, I am hoping that she pulls backwards because I am scary, and runs right into the stun. But nope. Did not run into the stun, so yeah. Don't have a good damage soaker, like a melee hero here for this temple, but we can abandon this quite easily here, right? Like so. Can put the stuff down. I'm gonna put down that thing, as in Star will fall and do stuff, and Jaina is trying to go a little too hard. Well, we got some shots of that temple, but now kind of have to either go defend base or go join the other shrine, and I'm gonna go defend base because why the heck not? I mean, our base is in tatters, right? So, compared to the enemy base, our base is like now gone. We just have the core, but we managed to get their top keep, which is the innermost building, which spawns these catapult monsters to help push the lane. So at least the top lane is now kind of equal in footing, while this particular lane is not quite so well. And there is the a good thing about the Sentinel. I managed to hit the Brightwing with it, so we could see around the Brightwing for a few seconds still. That is always nice, because it gives you vision of stuff, like, well, how many things are coming in here. And this is also where Tyrande kind of sucks, because it's very annoying to try to clear waves fast with her. Unless you happen to have Starfall ready, so you can just do that. And wow, did not get those kills. Dazzler going very hard in, and then Sergeant Hammer is just like standing there. And well, I can try to do stuff, but if people are going this hard, I cannot protect you guys fully. And also, I am not quite the same level healer as Brightwing is, even after Brightwing's nerves and all this stuff. And I completely missed that stuns, like my bad. Just straight up my bad, that missed stun. I should have hit that. Yeah. Put the stun down in a location where I thought was gonna walk, but yeah. Get destroyed, and that probably is the game very much so. They could just take the temples and win the game with the temples. But well. So yeah, it seems like they are going for the temples. That is gonna take down the core just fine, and then there is a Zagara pushing on the core too. So here is a screen for you to show the end result of what has been going on. Quite even, quite enjoyable game. I very much like this, and hopefully it was enjoyable for you to watch. So thank you very much for watching.